Yes, we are looking there at the Chaos four-wheel drive camping outdoors and adventure BRL A-Grade 2022 ladder. After the last round, of course, the Panthers undefeated on top. Beenleigh Bulldogs suffering their first defeat last week. And at the hands of who we are watching today, which is the Wynnum Manly Seagulls. My name's Taylor Brown. I'll be running you through the action here at Kitchener Park for this round 10 clash between the Wynnum Seagulls and the Beenleigh Pride here this afternoon. Of course, we're not long from kickoff. The reserve grade game currently playing in the background. It's 30-all, less than a minute to go. An absolute blockbuster clash here to kick us off before the main game. In a second, we will go through the team list. But for now, I'll take you through last weekend's events. Wynnum beat Beenleigh 32-18 in last round. It was one of the biggest upsets that we've seen in the Chaos BRL A-Grade. Beenleigh went down to the diehards by 2 points at Emerson Park. So that was a close clash indeed. I'll take us through the Wynnum side for this afternoon at fullback, Daine SPENCER, Jaconia and HUMPHRIS on the wings, Stanford Talita, Mitch McMillan in the centres, Kyle Coghill and T. Benoni in the halves. Tuamavavi Gerard and Blake Pyle will be at the front of the scrum. Arana Tamata at hooker. James Robertson, Kelepi FAUKAFA in the back row. Charlie Kaipati at lock. And then on the chrome this afternoon, Savan Tahiri, Joshua Hill, Harlan Collins and Samasoni at Poitamani. They are, of course, led out each week by Mr. Jason Harris. The Beenleigh side, as you see in the background, 30-all draw. Sorry, I think that was a field goal on full time to the Pride and BRL reserve grade. But in the Premier Grade competition, Leon Boyer will be the fullback, Will Armstrong and Dylan Brassel on the wings, Deshaun Lifu Bray and Sebastian Winters-Chang in the centres, Caleb Daunt and Liam Jesse Wattups in the halves, Jacob Sturt, Paya Talakai at front row with Jaden Connors in between them, Jamie Zagini, Dredin SORENSEN and Luke Gale in the back three of that scrum. Sebastian Pianco, Max Leniu, Jaden Thompson, Zachary Hamilton will start the game from not too far from us down here on the bench. And I say us because, of course, I'm bringing in my co-commentator this evening, Mr. Lee Addison, who is the Managing Director of rugbyleaguecoach.com.au. Lee, how are you this afternoon?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, outstanding. It's a little bit of a brisk night. You'd be pretty accustomed to this being a pommy yourself.
I've got the big winter coat on. I thought I'd never have to wear it in Vegas, and it's coming out in force this week. I can't believe how cold it is, Taylor.
It's freezing. It's freezing cold.
It really is cold.
Of course, we've been here. We've been upstairs in the Leagues Club just to scout the surroundings before the start of this match. And there is the Fight MND cause at the grounds. There's a big ice plunge where there's been people from both sides, the Wynnum Manly Seagulls and the Beenleigh Pride, diving in at certain stages just to promote that cause and try and raise as much money as possible. It's good to see at junior grounds, isn't it, Lee? Just getting behind those charities and the great causes. Absolutely.
There's a person at the club who has suffered and unfortunately passed away from motor neurone disease, and their wife has been very omnipresent today in getting people to donate. And I think, some motor neurone disease is something that runs through my family, mate, and sometimes in somebody's passings, something like this can keep you going. I don't want to dwell on that too much, but you can tell in the lady's face that it's really keeping her going. It's helping her to deal with the loss of her husband, and she'll also be enlightened and happy with the amount of people that are backing her and backing the initiative.
Yeah, it's beautiful to see rugby league communities coming together in hard times. It's something that we've seen over the past how many years that rugby league's been going. It's just it's a community that gets behind each other, and that's why we all love this game.
We're good at it, mate. We're good at it as league, is it? We're a working class sport when it's all said and done, and we come out of hard times, and we like to keep thinking that we're in hard times, and it helps us, I think.
It does. It helps us chip along. Of course, I'll take us through some other results of this round 10 that we've already seen in the Chaos BRL A-Grade. The Valleys went down to West Brisbane Panthers. They keep their undefeated streak going. That was over at Emerson Park. And then the Beenleigh Bulldogs bounced back from last week's defeat to the Wynnum Manly Seagulls, 20-18 over the Carina Tigers. So it's a little bit of trouble over there at Carina for the Tigers. They've hit a bit of a slump. and hoping they get through it very shortly. But yes, we're moments away from this clash. And what excites you about tonight's game, Lee?
I just love this level of football because I see players that are hungry to get into the Host Plus Cup. My apologies. I always find that hard to say, Host Plus Cup. Double plug for the sponsors there, though. And I find that there's a lot of players who are hungry to do that. And there are also some players who, with all due respect, this is a step up for them, or this is their level. And I love these lower grade games because they have those different machinations in play, and sometimes the game can be turned just by some players being available.
Yes, that's right. Both of these sides do feed into the Host Plus Cup at this top level of the BRL A-Grade, Chaos-sponsored BRL A-Grade. And they often get players coming up and coming down. Both of these sides are affiliated with the Wynnum Manly Seagulls in the Host Plus Cup. They're always very strong. They're always up the top of the ladder. And as a reflection, both of these sides are usually very strong outfits. At the moment, the Beenleigh Pride sit at third on the ladder. They've had a very strong season last year. They did not make the semis, but they've had a very strong season this year. Well, polar opposites to the Seagulls, who are running out now, who have had probably one of their worst years in BRL for at least as long as I've been watching them, Lee. They've suffered a couple of defeats, but last week they pulled it all together against Beenleigh, who are one of the sides of the competition as well. So it'll be interesting to see if they can continue this run of form this afternoon against a very, very strong Beenleigh Pride outfit.
This game will have a bit more spite to it then, because essentially it's a Wynnum Manly reserve grade playoff.
It's an audition.
So yeah, it's if there's 4 props on the field, then 2 of them in theory could be better than the other 2. If there's 2 halves, one will be better than the other.
Of course, and we are off and underway. Beenleigh Pride kicking off to the left of your screen right now to the Wynnum Manly Seagulls. Oh, that's a strong hit up to start with, and met by some strong defence as well.
Plenty of men in that tackle.
Yes, a strong defensive start. Here comes Tuamavave Gerard, and he's met hard by Paya Talakai.
3 in each time minimum. Beenleigh.
Again, they come here up to about the 30-metre line. That's the number 13 in Lachlan LEE.
Their ruck control worried me a little bit. Beenleigh then, you've heard me on the Queensland League scene say, are they on fire? And I just got the feeling Wynnum must have been on fire then, because Beenleigh were jumping off them a little bit, and the penalty was given for a spin.
Yes, and there is a penalty. It's a relieving penalty to start the game. Wynnum will be loving that. Geez, the ball only just went out, didn't it? I thought there was a danger of being battered back in. But here they come through Robinson. Run straight and hard into Lifu Bray and company. They'll be looking to capitalise here, the Seagulls. Get some early points on the board. It's straight down the middle. Goes to number 21. We don't have that number. I think that's Arana Tamata. Robinson, shaky ball from 9. Kyle Coghill. He brings Blake Pyle underneath him.
They missed a chance to shift the ball wide then, Taylor. They should have gone 2 passes, 3 passes, and gone to the right edge, the left side of the Beenleigh defence.
Coghill turns Tuamavave Gerard back on the inside. Pushing, fighting. He's still going, is Tuamavave Gerard. Third tackle here, the count. They go to Coghill's side again. He puts it on the toe early. Oh, just picked up there. Oh, he's going to go away. That's Armstrong. He's thrown into touch. Sorry, Leon Boyer thrown into touch.
You know how brutal I can be sometimes in analysis. I thought that was a very pedestrian, good ball set. So when we talk about good ball, we're talking about 30-40 metres out from the opposition try line. I thought there was a very pedestrian set from Wynnum Manly there. It was very readable. When the defence was short on the left edge, they didn't shift. Oh, sorry, the Beenleigh left edge, the right edge of the Wynnum attack. They didn't shift the ball straight away, and they played quite 2 out, I call it.
Well, they've heavily favoured this left-hand side of the field, the Wynnum Seagulls, so they must be seeing something there in video. There's a late offload. Arana Tamata takes off. Jinking, coming back on the inside and met in a strong tackle. So they might be favouring this Kyle Coghill run left-hand side. Tuamavave Gerard out the back to Benoni. Short ball there to FAUKAFA. He's still going for FAUKAFA. He'll be hard to stop. I think he's held up over the line, Lee.
Yes, he is.
short to Tumavave Gerard. I don't think he'll get through there. There's a host of Pride players waiting and willing to defend.
They need to go short side, Taylor. They need to go short side. No, they don't even look at it.
Coggle. He goes short to Lachlan LEE, straight up the middle.
+1 fest, +1 fest, +1 fest.
They've set ups on both sides of the ruck. Tomato goes himself, trying to use the post, and denied. The Beenleigh Pride showing some real grit in this defensive set. They've still got one more to make, though. It's last tackle, and easy as you like. They've fallen asleep at the ruck, and Lachlan LEE dives over to open the account for the Seagulls.
Well, I was a little bit critical of the structure there, but obviously it doesn't matter what your structure is if you get a meat pie. Beenleigh actually spread their defence so much, no wonder it was so easy for the attacker there to just fall over the line. He basically fell over the line, Taylor.
Yeah, we'll have a look at the replay here. And Arana Tomato has a really good go at the start. He uses the post. I thought it was a pretty good defence by the Pride, but then, yeah, no real attempt there by Leon Boyer.
Look at the spacings. Look at the left of the post. That is schoolboy stuff. Always defend the threat. Always defend the ball. And then work out from there.
Yeah, it's a little bit like a hot knife through butter there, wasn't it, Lee? It's a little too easy for Lachlan LEE, and probably warning signs for the Pride.
If I'm the Beenleigh coach, I mean, I don't know how he talks to his defence, but I'm tightening up my defence because there was nothing in that Wynnum set that suggests that they're going to move the ball too much. So you can take the chance, really compress your defence, and do an up-and-out defence to deal with any shift if needed.
As Brandon Jaconia, leading point scorer for 2021, knocks that over with ease. You're right, Lee. It was a pedestrian set, wasn't it? It was quite easy to read, and just a little bit of +1 and see if you can run over the top.
And fans get frustrated about that, and coaches even worse. That's why most coaches look 10 years older than they are.
Except for yourself, Lee. You're looking quite young.
That's because I've not coached a team this year. Been too busy doing Queensland League scene and games like this.
So we're waiting for a tee now. It'll be hand-delivered by the trainer. Wynnum, they've had quite a slow start in terms of their attack wasn't quite on fire, but they still managed to lead 6-0 after 5.5 minutes. So interesting to see how the Pride managed to react to that one.
Interesting caveat too, Taylor, that Beenleigh haven't touched the ball yet.
They have not. You're 100% correct. They did momentarily, but it was just handed over straight away. Possession heavily weighted for the Seagulls. There's a late offload to Jaconia. We know how crazy elusive he is in space. Still going is Jaconia. Well, they need to play on the up and pour through the middle here, Lee.
Wynnum have got out the traps very well. Beenleigh are still on the bus. And Wynnum just basically needs to keep doing what they're doing. Don't change. Don't get too extravagant coming out of your own end. Possibly be a bit more extravagant at this end of the field. I mean, anybody who's looking at the screen, can you see all the defenders as you look that are short on the left of the screen? They just need to move the ball over there and they'll be already under the sticks. But the alternative to that is a high completion rate. You get a high completion rate, you probably get some points when you've built some pressure anyway. I love that rubber.
Benoni goes at Blake Pyle got his fingertips to it, but unfortunately can't claw it back in time. It was a beautiful kick by T. Benoni. It's well weighted. I thought he might have just got there, but unfortunately he didn't. So the Pride finally get their hands on the ball for more than one play. Let's see if they can roll through the middle. Here they come through Will Armstrong.
Just 2 men in the tackle for Wynnum. Talking to the viewer about that a little bit. So Beenleigh were putting 3 in and Wynnum were putting 2 in, and that would suggest that Beenleigh, when they do move the ball, might be occasionally frustrated because Wynnum have only got 2 men in the collision. The flip of that is that you can get a quicker play the ball.
Speaking of quick play the balls, there's Jamie Zagini. Talakai now gets the ball off Connors. Hard and straight he goes, looking for an offload. He gets one. Jacob Sturt pushing. Of course, Jacob Sturt does have some Host Plus Cup games to his name. Quite a young front row and skillful. They go left and short side. There's that
pass had brass coffin handles on it. That was...
and they go short side again. Little chip over the top. But it's met, and it'll be a 20-metre tap and 7 tackles to the Seagulls.
I'm not having a go at the Beenleigh player there, but the game's obsession with the front man is just so readable. So readable. You watch NRL, you watch Host Plus Club. I just said Host Plus Club. Host Plus Cup. And the obsession with the front man is really frustrating.
Well, they'll have another chance to correct that obsession, Lee, because a mistake at the play the ball to Rakeem Outer will have an attackathon for the Pride. They'll get another set at them here. They couldn't start the game with the ball. Now they'll have it back-to-back sets.
The Beenleigh coach looks a little bit more relaxed now all of a sudden. His team have got into the game.
I'd be more relaxed too. Interesting here, Lee. They've got a scrum. They've opted to go directly in the middle of the park, just where the play the ball was. So I don't think they will put a play on here. I'd love to see one, though. I love a good scrum play.
Well, what does happen, a lot of teams like to set up from the middle so they can make the defence split in half.
Oh, pretty good in and out by Mr. Deshaun Leefu Bray there. Jeez, he's good on that outline.
He did well. When a team does a +1 back after they've just gone so far on edge, it actually brings the defence back out.
Jaden Connors going. Late offload. See if they can use something here. They get a ball to the right-hand side. Late switch. Going with ball in hand. And straight over goes Dredin SORENSEN for the first points for the Pride.
We've had 2 soft tries, Taylor. I mean, I wouldn't say that either try was a result of any exuberant attacking play, and that would suggest this game could be high scoring.
Yes, it does. There's been some questionable defence over the first 10 minutes of this one. Jaden Connors just taking advantage of 3 in the tackle. He goes, gets a chance to run again from left to right-hand side, and Sorensen, What-Ups obviously saw something on that right-hand side, and Sorensen was able to take full advantage, getting himself one-on-one with a smaller man and going straight over the chalk.
I think both teams have got a bit more room to get a bit more out the ruck, slowing the ruck down. The game's quite fast at the minute, and that's why both tries have been scored quite easily. Each ruck has been so fast that defenders haven't really got back into a position where they can defend the threat very well. I mean, look at that ruck control there. No wonder the hooker felt compelled to run out. Switch play. There'll be people who were born in 1950 who like the look of that.
One of the originals, the old switch play. And yeah, Kyle Colgill just missing his assignment really there on Sorensen. All arms and no real shoulder contact at all. Here comes Boyer.
Is it just me or Sebastian Winters Chang played for every team in this country? His name popped up everywhere.
At least for South East Queensland, absolutely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go country, but
he's one of those people I feel like I know, even though I've never met him.
This isn't a small country like England over there, mate. You can't just pop up on the other side of the country every day. So, conversion unsuccessful there. 6-4 the scoreline. 12 minutes down. Coggill goes for a short kickoff. Oh, he's going to get it comfortably. Oh, well done. One-on-one strip. How good was that to see of Mr. Luke Gale?
Shares a name with a very good halfback in England, actually, Luke Gale.
They go on the left-hand side through Daunt. Back to the middle now. That's Sturt Tobin.
Nice and compressed, the Wynnum defence, actually. I think trying to go through it could be tougher than just moving it around a little bit.
Well, that's one of the key characteristics of Wynnum over the past decade, Lee. They're just known for their defence, especially through the middle.
I noticed then on tackle 4, I think it was, how they just spread a little bit. I don't think they actually need to.
The defensive line?
Yeah. So if you just look at the screen now, the players are approximately 2 metres apart from each other. A player to a goal, they were a metre or a metre and a half away from each other, and they visibly spread a little bit then on tackle 4.
Yeah, they look very spread now, don't they?
Yeah.
Play restarts. Left-hand side through Daunt, who's going to get an early kick away. Not a bad little kick into that corner. He's forced to play by Spencer. And that'll be ball in the Wynnum hands safely.
Great chance for Beenleigh to peg Wynnum back in again.
Oh, Rakeem Outer slammed on his back.
The referee will be under pressure to give away a penalty.
Oh! Again goes Jamie Zagini, and there's your penalty. You must have watched or been around a game or two, Lee.
I don't know if there was anything major in that.
Yeah, they've called raked.
Right.
I didn't see it myself. I thought it might have fallen out through contact and contact alone, but the result's the same regardless. Wynnum pushing their way over the 50-metre line now, so they'll be heading into good ball territory. Short ball to Lachlan LEE, the try scorer.
This hooker likes to roll out.
He really does, Mr. Arana Tamata. Kyle Coggill, he gets it off to Robinson. Straight and hard running so far on the bill for the Seagulls.
They can go short side here, 3-on-2.
And they do. Coggill's there. He looks inside to Spencer, opts to run himself.
That'll just keep the Beenleigh defence guessing. Fair play to Wynnum. They've varied their attack a little bit.
They go right now. Here's Tumavave Gerard with a dummy and go. Known for his quick play the ball, Tumavave Gerard. There's a dummy from Tamata. He's dinking, runs himself, but that's last tackle handover. A little bit lost at the end of that set, Lee.
Well, either the coach can hear me, the Beenleigh coach, or he sent the call out. Their defence was a lot more compressed then, so they didn't go through it. Or maybe, sometimes players just react, cause and effect. They get caught once with their pants down, and then they respond to it and change the way they defend. So, well done, Beenleigh, I think. And Wynnum threw a little bit more at them in the first couple of tackles and then drop right off. This ref likes giving penalties in the 20 metres.
He does like giving penalties in the 20 metres. And there's another one for a high tackle. Beenleigh Pride, just an easy piggyback out of their own area.
Let's have a look at that's not high. Play on.
Back in your day, it wasn't high unless it went over the nose, wasn't it?
Oh, play on. Just talk to him. Just say, keep him down, mate. Keep him down. And I think that's Jamie. Oh no, it's not Jamie Zaghini. Jamie Zaghini, number 11. You'll see him having a look down the short side because he's one of my ex-players. I used to hammer him for this in training and in games. Keep your eye on the short side. I like this +1 from Beenleigh. They've set up at the middle. Let's see if they move the ball. No, they've gone back to where they were.
Oh, beautiful short ball to Tobin. He's away, one-on-one,
what a
but
tackle.
Terrible pass. Oh, they get the ball back 6 again. It's not all lost for the Pride.
Typical tactic there where they roll out to a middle position and then play back at the defenders that have had to shift. Good from Beenleigh.
Here they go through Boyer. Tries to step on the inside of Coggill, but a one-on-one tackle jars the ball loose.
A lot of knock-ons today. The first team that can complete 2 or 3 sets in succession will get control of this game.
Well, not only have they knocked on the ball, they've just given away a penalty as well for a second dig at the ruck.
Well, we're within the 30 metres. Ref likes giving them round here.
They'll kick out. So again, we have a side starting their set from the middle of the park. It's just good ball sets at the moment, isn't it, Lee?
Yeah, and it's good for us because it's right in front of us, and we can see who the players are. Beenleigh leaving a little bit of space behind the ruck, and the Wynnum players are getting in behind the markers to generate some momentum there. The hooker likes to roll out. That's his replacement, I think, now.
Yeah, that's Arana Tamata. He's done a really good job in the 9 role for the Seagulls. Daine Spencer being tackled now. They roll through the middle. That's Tumavave Gerard.
So what I'm saying to the viewer is I'd like them to shift there rather than taking another carry. Shift to where the Beenleigh defence doesn't have that many numbers.
And they do now. Benoni goes wide to outer. Well defended there by the Pride. Almost pushed him straight into the 14th defender.
I want the viewer to look, Taylor, at all the edge Wynnum players. Are they just looking at the play the ball? They're not taking part in the game. They're not moving off the ball. They're not in good shape, or not in great shape. They're looking at the ball. They're watching the ball just like we are, and that is something I need to pull up about their game. They're not being expansive enough.
Yeah, well, Benoni just a little too much wee picks this morning. Now it's another 7 tackle set, one of several we've already seen this evening, and it just seems whoever can steady this ship. There's another penalty. He's extended it to the 40 now.
I know. Yeah, I don't know if he's trying to make his mark in this game. I'm not one for bagging referees. I can't say any of his decisions have been too wrong. He's just going by the letter of the law.
Here they come through Lifu Bray. Opts to run himself.
Number 8 gets the best haircut award for Wynnum.
Oh, there's another drop ball. I'd love to see the stats if we had them. Love to see the stats if we had them.
The stats on Gerard's hair or the game?
The stats on Gerard's hair, I don't think I'm qualified enough to really delve into that one. What would be the stats on Gerard's hair?
I think it weighs at least 2 kilos.
Curls per centimetre.
Yeah. Best hair. Sloppy game, Taylor. Somebody needs to take control of it.
It is a sloppy game. I think the first side that can do that and take full control of this match, well, they're going to reap the benefits, but we're looking at 18 minutes into this one, and it's just, it's sloppy, it's all over the joint. There's been poor defence from both sides of the ball for both sides.
Poor ball control is the one that's jumping out to me too. One team needs to complete 3 to 5 sets, one after the other.
Well, they could be a couple of tries. If whoever completes 3 to 5 sets, I reckon that'll, there might be some meat pies involved in that.
Beenleigh have really jammed their defence in now. Have we got a direct line to the coach, or?
Well, why wouldn't you? If you get the expert analysis that we give, you'd be listening to VRL TV every single time. Here comes Tuamavave Gerard. He's gone through a mountain of work to start off this match for the Seagulls.
He bumped them off with his hair then?
Repellent. Defender repellent.
Beenleigh have put too many men on the short side if Wynnum shift. But Wynnum have got to look at this. So if the viewer looks now, they'll see that there's four men on the short side right now, maybe 5 based on perspective. And there was that in the previous play the ball. They need to shift. When they've got too many men on that short side, shift.
Well, they have gone to the air, taken well by Armstrong over in that corner.
One of the benefits of kicking to the right side of the field, Taylor, is that every Beenleigh player will be coming out from that side, and I can almost guarantee that most of the team are right-handed, so they'll have to palm off the left, lead in with the left shoulder like this man is now, and it can sometimes shave the metres off.
They got on the late offload there, and they keep going through. Jaden Connors jumps out, looking for a 40-20, but it's come off the side of the boot.
See, that was off the back foot, really. They didn't have enough go forward, I don't think, to
Here comes Jaconia.
do that.
Dangerous in broken play.
Great run.
The Beenleigh Pride have looked to the bench. Max Leniu has come on immediately.
He needs to have a look at his rotation because some of his players are standing offside quite regularly now.
Well, we are at about that 20-minute mark. Oh, that's a knock on by Rakeem Outer. And just as you mentioned, it's I'd love to see the stats on completed sets. They wouldn't be very high at all.
It really affects the flow of the game. So when your casual spectator thinks it's a scrappy game, it's because teams are dropping the ball, and it's so common today. My guess that no team will be much over 40% completion, and that might be being generous.
Well, I think it is generous, and 2 of those completions, 1 each, would be the try.
That's right. That they can definitely make your stats look good. Everything's adding up to me that if one team holds the ball, gets the ball down the other end of the field, both teams have shown not very good at defending their own goal line at the minute, so a bit of sustained pressure would result in tries.
Yeah, Beenleigh Pride, just a simple shift through the hands there. They might be going back to basics to fix these issues they're having. Dylan Brassel comes in for a run.
Wynnum put 3 in that tackle then.
Looks like Mr. Piles come out of there with an injury. Of course, the Wynnum side all sporting motor neuron disease socks as well.
Good on him.
Really good to see. Connors hits the man in the middle. Quick play of the ball. He'll run here. He does. There's Sturt Tobin out the back. Oh, beautiful ball movement there, but they've lost it.
Again.
Is it a knock on? Yeah, it is. It's a knock on.
What I'd do against Wynnum is I would move the ball in the first couple of tackles to get their compressed defence thinking twice, and then as soon as they spread play through them.
Well, they have a really jumpy number 9 here, the Pride in Jaden Connors. They need to play into that. They've caught lost ball. I thought there might have been a foot in that. We'll have a look at the screen and see if we can catch anything there. Here comes Daine Spencer up to play the ball, and
no, that was a knock on. I think if it was touched by a Beenleigh player, I think it was accidental. I don't think it was on purpose.
Yeah, we've seen this more and more. I mentioned it last week. in rugby league. Seems to be a real shift in the last couple of years. Every time there's an error in the play of the ball, it's the attacker, whereas going back 5 years ago, the penalty would be against the defender almost every time.
Well, it does affect the flow of the play, and I guess sometimes we listen a bit too much to some of the commentators on television and people like me and you.
You mean the good guys of rugby league?
Yeah. But ultimately it's an entertainment product, and people are cold sat here and they want to see some football to warm them up, and any 50-50s like that maybe need to be reconsidered. But again, I'm not criticising the ref, because I think every decision he's got right, but it's just about the flow of the play.
GALE pushing through the middle now. Beenleigh Pride, a real opportunity to get a second try on the board. Connors shifts and he decides to dummy and go himself. Daunt met by strong Wynnum defence, but it is a penalty for a high shot. So do you talk 2 points here, or do you keep going? I think they're pointing to the post, so they're going to go for 2 points.
I agree with this, just because of the stop-start nature of the game. Get some points on the board, reset, and charge onto the kit.
Oh, I'm wrong. They pointed to the sticks and decided to tap. I can't lip read from this far. It's very hard. Jaden Connors at 9.
Good
out
ball.
The back to Daunt.
Oh, hello.
He goes further to Armstrong. Oh, good defence by the Seagulls.
Now, the right side of Beenleigh's attack needs to be in shape, needs to be looking up, because if they shift right now, bingo, points.
Connors brings it under to Panianco. Options both sides in the middle of the field. They go right to What-Ups. Long ball to Lefu Bray, one-on-one. Tries to come back on the inside. Offload away. Oh, well tackled by Wynnum, pushing through.
They let Wynnum defend. They let Wynnum line up their defence again with that extra play. They should have shifted on the play where I said.
Through the middle. They go through Sturt Tobin. Connors, Daunt. What-Ups. Oh, beautiful tackle by Outer. And that's last. So you've shut down a really good attacking foray by the Pride. What were your thoughts on that set in total, Lee?
Not shifting on the right play of the ball, taking one too many plays and moving the Wynnum defence back into position. Secondly, hookers like to roll out now and sniff around the marker. It's a pandemic in the game ever since Cameron Smith played the game. The problem is Cameron Smith is one of the greatest players ever to play it, and I think hookers need to do the 2 Gs, give or go. This rolling out sometimes, all it does is put your other attackers under pressure.
Yes, it can be hard to read as a front rower trying to run off a 9 doing this all the time. Tamata gets the ball away on that right-hand side of FAUKAFA. Gets a late offload to Spencer. Still pushing his Spencer. Wynnum Manly. Oh, there's another lost ball.
Commentator's curse there. Tamara got the ruck completely right. There was a dead marine at the ruck. There was somebody laid down at the floor, so he just went, and that's perfect.
Yes, but what's not perfect is a lost ball by Spencer. Again, the completion rates from both sides. I guess with 15 to go and a half, Lee, as a coach, you'd be almost yelling at this point, wouldn't you?
I wouldn't be yelling if because
don't you sit here and say play innocent with me.
Yeah. No, I think I'd walk in, I'd say, hold the ball, and then walk out again. Look how much the Wynnum defence has spread now, and if you think back to the first couple of tackles, it was nice compressed. I think they're overthinking it a tad. Now the hooker got it right there.
Beautiful ball to Lefu Bray. Oh, great defence on the outside.
I'm loving this battle with the 2 number 4s.
Yeah, it's a good little battle. Lefu Bray loves jumping to that outside. Skipped on the inside, still gets met. So
his opposite number just needs to stay on his inside shoulder for as long as he can. Last
tackle here. What-Ups is going to go to the air. Creating that battle. They're pushing through. Oh, up and over the pack is Mr. Chris Humphris. He's brought into play, but it was a good tackle, wasn't it? It was a good jump and all-round good play there.
What-Ups is impressing me. He's steering them round well. Even though I've got some criticism about the way they are being steered around, that'll be a coach instruction. And look, they've just forced a repeat set. This is pressure. They're building some pressure. They can keep it really simple now and they'll probably come up with something.
It was a well-weighted kick. But of course, as you mentioned, there's lots of X's and O's we could talk about with this game, but if one team holds the ball, there's more in that than anything else.
Just hold it, Beenleigh. Don't force anything. Don't Play the percentages.
There's Zagini.
Good player, that Zagini. He's been coached well.
Daunt. He goes out the back to What-Ups. He's got lots of room to move.
There we go.
Throws a long ball.
No.
He's gone without it there, Dylan Brassel.
I've given him the commentator's curse again. He just needed to play it simple. I think he wanted to get on the highlight reel there, What-Ups, with that pass.
Yeah, look, I would have liked him to just run himself. He had the defence in 6s and 7s. They weren't sure what he was going to do. Lots of options around him.
But even the pass, I mean, if it was caught, it would have been a try. And the problem is it nearly went through his rib cage. It was so hard.
Well, sometimes the ball needs to be that fast to get to its destination at the right time. So
I feel like he overcooked it a bit there.
Yeah.
Nearly took his head off.
Oh. Anyway, we're back where we started. Another drop ball. Wynnum pushing to come out of their own line. Here comes Spencer.
I'd consider the early kick.
A 20-40 attempt or just an early kick?
Just an early kick.
Play 3, play 4, get it out of here and just start muscling up.
And both packs are reasonably mobile, but they're also reasonably heavy and mobile. So turning them around might not be a bad ploy because the game is so messy.
Well, Leon Boyer's only about 15 metres behind the defence here, so a kick now would do him really well. Here comes Harlan Collins with his first touch.
That said, it's not been a bad set from Wynnum.
Coggle goes high.
Was that
Boyer
early
has
in the
to
count?
move backwards. Oh, well taken. Yeah, I think it was about third or fourth, I believe.
Straight down his throat too, but good hang time so that the Wynnum defence could get up.
Another interchange here for the Seagulls. Tamata comes off for Savan Tahiri. Crafty little 9. I'd like to see him go to some work.
I'm seeing the odd little green shoot in the Beenleigh attack now. Some of the Wynnum players are falling off tackles slightly, Beenleigh getting their noses through. And these things add up as the game goes on.
Another interchange player there in Jaden Thompson, who's on the field for the Pride.
Great ruck control from Wynnum there.
Yeah, Harlan Collins, he's a very experienced specialist. Oh, bit of hot potato on that left-hand edge. And Winters Chang just throws it forward there and straight to the deck.
We'll have to be careful, he might change clubs at half-time. How many clubs has he had plus he played
I don't know. I don't know. Is there a Wikipedia expert? Is he on Wikipedia? Can we check that out?
We'll get our stats man, Kel Bogan, on the job.
Kel Bogan on the job. Oh. He's given us the thumbs up. I don't know if he's filthy because of the
the shout out.
Extra assignment you've just given him, Lee. He's got plenty on his plate as it is. He's Lachlan LEE.
Oh, give him his head back.
Well, he's had to jump to get that high to Lachlan Lee's head, but he found it. What's he, 6'4" or 5 would be Lachlan LEE.
And he was ready to tap it and go himself then, until somebody talked him out of it.
Well, Harlan Collins takes it hard and straight.
Collins is giving the number 8 a crack
for
the haircut.
Benoni, he brings FAUKAFA underneath him. Stopped in a tackle, but still pushing. He's using that palm effectively.
Do you think that FAUKAFA's been coached well as well? One of my old school boys.
No.
Shift now, Wynnum, shift now.
Here they go. Spencer.
One more.
Ball.
Oh. The shooter came out, but that's okay.
Out and in
roll
for Brassel.
on the short side now if you have numbers. No, they've played the ball too slow. Jam them in here and then shift to the opposite side of the field.
Here comes Robinson. Coggill's having a look on that short side, but Tahiri goes out the back to Benoni. Short ball to FAUKAFA. It's milked by about 3 or 4 Beenleigh players on the line. Last tackle, quick play the ball. They go to Benoni, right boot. Yeah, a bit of a trap and scrap, but Wynnum end up with it. 6 again.
Oh, wow.
There's Rakeem Mouter. Still going Rakeem.
Wynnum need to pull off the ball, look up, find the spot. Look at the shortage of Beenleigh defenders on their right, our left as we look at the screen.
Oh, Coggill steps off the right-hand side.
The shooter's coming out the Beenleigh defence too, so just turn the ball back inside when you see a shooter.
Tahiri running, not finding any opportunities there. Coggill at 9, goes over the top. Daine Spencer catches it. Roly-poly, rumble and tumble. The result's the same, 4 points. from Mr. Daine Spencer.
There was a Harbour Bridge pass there. I think he got so fed up with some of the knock-ons, he decided just to do something completely different. He just threw it over everyone.
Tahiri jumps out, had FAUKAFA with him, chooses to run himself. And yeah, Coghill.
Oh. That was actually really smart.
Well, very creative, wasn't it?
Yeah. What's next? A header?
Mate, well, you can't header, can you? You can't header and go forward. Or can you?
Can you do an overhead kick?
It's off your head. It's off your head, so that's play on, isn't it?
Yep.
It's not knock on.
Yeah.
So he could do a header.
So, a bit of thinking outside the box there, which is good. Bit of creation. So we know the method now. Get down that end and just throw a Harbour Bridge pass.
Harbour Bridge pass. That's the way to go.
It's a bit of a...
Mate, if that's all it takes to be a 5'8",
Yeah.
I reckon I could have been a 5'8".
It's funny, isn't it? We're all a bit deflated even though they've scored because it just seems so easy. Yep, just throw it over everyone. I like the theatrical dive there too.
Yeah. Theatric makes everything. Here comes Jaconia in to make 4.6.
What did I say, Taylor Brown? That if one side builds a bit of pressure, they'll score. They got a repeat set on the last tackle then. Wynnum.
They did. They did get a repeat set, held the ball.
And then a defender didn't turn up for their assignment, and bingo.
Yes, the score now 10-4. Jaconia unsuccessful in that conversion attempt. So Wynnum Manly making full use of that extra set of 6 on the line, as you mentioned, Lee, to get over the line. A Kyle Coghill Harbour Bridge pass. That's what we're calling it. That's what it will be.
That's a mouthful. So, the next thing is when you do score a try, you must complete the next set. It was a big Wayne Bennett mantra, I believe.
Well, there's only 5.5 minutes to go in this half. Wouldn't you be disappointed if you dropped the ball and then conceded the try just before?
Absolutely.
Here comes Robinson. Pushing through the middle of the park. Lachlan LEE, I think he's been one of the best for the Seagulls so far, Lee.
Totally agree. You can see the 90s scheming in and around the play the ball there. They're rolling out nice from the middle of the ruck, nice and flat. Beenleigh a little bit behind the 8 ball now because they've just conceded the try. This is a great set from Wynnum.
Benoni goes to FAUKAFA, who pushes the ball over the 50-metre line. They're going to look for a kick here. The number 14 was offside by about 4 metres and gets involved. So, no call from the ref. They've let the ball bounce, though. Here comes Rakeem Outer pushing through.
What does the not-so-great Gus Gould say? He says if you let the ball bounce, you're inviting devastation into your life or something. Shift the ball, Wynnum. Move it.
Coghill gets it to Robinson. There's Spencer.
Move it. One more.
Dummy and go. I think he might be dragged out. Oh, selfless work there by Mr. Chris Humphris, keeping his player in. Kyle Coghill decides to take a front rower's hit up. And that's what happens when 5'8s take front rowers hits up.
There's a blueprint in that kick because it went so high, NASA were warned. And it didn't end up caught, did it? Wynnum ended up out with the ball. So keep doing that to that same player.
Yeah, we also got full gravitational specs off the NASA team. Thank you for that. Texted to my phone just then. Savant Tahiri brings his player underneath him, a slip.
They're building some pressure now.
Aren't they what? Here they come. Short ball on the line. Dummy and go. Still pushing. Oh, they're going to hold him up. Oh, the ref's having a good look. Oh, must have been just. He done really well there, Josh Hill.
Is he a bunker in the BRL? I think he got over. The you know what he did there? He brought options around him with the football and he actually threw a dummy and everyone fell for it.
Yeah, he did.
Watch this. The 9 followed his pass inside. He threw a dummy. He had a support runner. Defender fell for it and he nearly got through. Great play there.
Well, we go back to live play. Expansive shift out to the right-hand side. Ball hits the deck. Coming back in is Jaconia. Oh, one-on-one strip.
Oh, no.
And away go the Pride. If it wasn't for Daine Spencer, there would have been 3 letters, 4 points. And here's a penalty to the Pride. Only 3 minutes to go now. They're playing on the up here.
I'm not laughing, I promise, about that.
About what?
The ref giving a penalty.
Well, just under 2 minutes to go of this half. Wouldn't a try here be heartbreaking
Mate, if you look at when the final analysis of this game, think back to this period, Wynnum could have put 2 tries. Distance between them and Beenleigh. Instead, they've blown it. There's a short ball again, which is actually good from them because they've been going long on this side. So that was good.
Short ball to Sorensen. Connors decides to jump.
Nice.
There's Boyart, goes on the right foot. Oh, he's called a forward pass.
Where?
I think it's from the play the ball from Connors. He gets the ball to Boyart. Yeah, he's called forward pass on that one.
He had the line to help him.
Oh, and it would have been try time there for Mr. Dylan Brussell.
Quite a few people sat behind the sticks there. Do you like watching a game from that angle, Taylor?
If I'm elevated and if I'm not commentating. I like from where I am about now, if I'm commentating a match, a little bit raised and on the 50-metre line. But if I'm watching for pleasure, can I say, I think that's a beautiful angle to watch football. You see the spacings, you see everything.
I like exactly where I am now for coaching or playing, maybe a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Coaching or
for playing.
Spectating.
Is that where you did your best playing, in the stands?
Yes. Second row of the grandstand.
So a minute 30 to go, 90 seconds. Wynnum, we might see some expansive play here. That's Jaconia. He's got Outer on the outside. Still pushing Jaconia. He's lightning. They won't catch him from there. I don't think they do. Beautiful tackle.
Good call, Taylor Brown. The minute you said they won't catch him, they caught him.
Commentators curse, they call that. Here they go through Benoni. He just decides to run hard and straight. See what happens. Nothing doing.
When you make a big break like that, you need to shift the ball to the other side of the field.
Oh, long ball from FAUKAFA. I thought the idea was right, but the pass just wasn't. What do you think of that option, Lee?
Next.
This isn't Millionaire's hot seat. You can't just say next and we'll roll on. I've asked for your opinion. Now
I told you, when you make a break like that, you need to shift the ball to the other side of the field as soon as you can. Because when a team makes a break, the defence rush to where the threat is.
They gravitate.
Yeah, gravitate to the ball, so shift the ball to the other side. Cause and effect.
Well, there's 30 seconds to go in this half, and unless we see a chip and chase here from the Pride, which isn't too out of the realm of possibilities, I think we'll go into the sheds with a 10-4 scoreline. Lee, you are Mr. Jason Gainey right now, head coach of the Pride. What are you saying to the boys when they get in a circle?
Well, first of all, to move the ball when they're in good ball a little bit on tackle 1 or 2, not wait till tackle 3. Don't move the Wynnum defence into position before you try and attack that defence. Also, I would tell them to vary their attack in tackle 1, 2 and 3.
Oh, hang on a minute. We're still going. Daunt's in a break. Throws it on the left boot. Oh, it's going to go out. So don't worry about that. Exciting play to end the half, but no result on the end. So now, of course, you've mentioned what Mr. Gainey's going to say to his Pride. What is Mr. Harris going to say to the Seagulls?
It's almost a carbon copy. And I wonder how much of the advice that both teams are getting and both coaches are getting is from the one place, from Wynnum, because they're actually quite similar in the structures. Both teams compress early in the tackle count to spread a bit later when they're defending. In attack, they're quite basic coming out of their own exit, and then they go into good ball, and they're quite programmed there to go back to the middle. So it'd be exactly the same. And both teams, either one, needs to make sure that they hold the football and build some pressure.
All right, well, Mr. Lee Addison giving his advice to both sides coming into the break.
I'm just saying hello to Guinea.
Daine SPENCER and Lachlan LEE, the try scorers for the Seagulls. Mr. Dredin SORENSEN, the try scorer for the Pride. Only one goal in the match, and that's to Brendan Jaconia. We'll have a short break and catch you in 10 minutes. And we're back here at Kitchener Park. Round 10 of the Chaos BRL A-Grade competition. Score is 10-4 in favour of the Wynnum Seagulls over the Beenleigh Pride. A little bit of an upset if you're looking at the ladder, because of course the Pride are sitting pretty pre-game in 3rd and Wynnum 7th. As mentioned in the pre-game chat, both of these clubs affiliated with the Host Plus Cup side, Wynnum Manly Seagulls. Essentially an audition, playing against your opposite number for that opportunity to represent at Host Plus Cup level if it arrives. We've seen in the first half, lots of drop ball, a little bit sloppy. You mentioned what you thought the coaches would have said at half-time. What adjustments do you expect to see them make, Lee Addison?
I expect to hear that the call from the field, the first five, meaning that they're going to complete the first 5 sets. I'm sorry to the viewer to sound like a stuck record, but somebody does need to take control of this. And they'll do that by holding the ball, getting good field position, building pressure.
Yes, there's been some strong performance from both sides, even though it's been a little sloppy. Lachlan LEE has been extremely impressive for the Wynnum side. I liked Jacob Sturt as well for the Pride. A lot of forwards featuring. Here they go, kick off, and we are underway.
The forwards have had to do the yakka because every time it goes out to the back line, it's going down.
Here come the Pride, pushing through the right-hand edge. That's Dredin SORENSEN with the ball in hand. What ups from dummies and runs himself. There's
Ball
a drop
strip.
ball.
Ball strip.
One-on-one. Well, this isn't the start they wanted, the Pride. Looking more and more like an upset here at Kitchener. Harlan Collins running through the middle.
It's almost like we've gone into the phase at the end of the first half.
Oh, big shot there. Massive hit on Lachlan LEE. Didn't run with that intent he's had for the whole game. Spencer at the back. Hit one-on-one by Caleb Daunt and brought to the deck. Then come through the middle through Tahiri. He gets it to Collins. Options both sides. Last tackle. Tahiri goes right. That's Benoni. Puts it on the right foot. Oh, well taken there by Sebastian Winters-Chang to defuse that.
I'd like to see a high kick close to the line, like a crossfield kick or a bomb.
Caleb Daunt, really good run there out of acting 9. Picks up at least 15 metres and a quick play the ball. Another strong tackle. They get up to the 40-metre line on second tackle here. The Pride, they're going to end this set in a really good position.
I can confirm that set was completed, though, by Wynnum, at least.
It was completed.
Yeah.
Dredin SORENSEN, a good touch there. They're going to push themselves over the halfway through. Connors, who decides to run himself. Must have seen something. Closed up before he got there, though. Last tackle now. They go through Caleb Daunt, puts it on his left boot. High, lots of trouble for Jaconia, but he made it look easy.
Bit of grind in this game now, which is exactly what I've been calling for. Both teams completed a set, put a bit of pressure on. Wynnum have got the ball on their own 20 now, leading into the 30. So they're starting to win the field position battle very slowly.
Here comes Stanford Toledo. Of course, his battle with Lifu Bray, one of the highlights of the first 40 minutes. Here comes Robinson.
Nice.
Straight and hard. Picks himself from 15 metres. It'd be a good 8 metres of post contact. Coggle on the inside to Collins. Yes, they are winning this field position battle. They'll get a kick away on their 30-metre line. The Seagulls. Coggle goes to the air.
We have started. There you go. There's the high kick I asked for too.
No, beautifully taken, but he was tackled mid-air.
Rush of blood there. It's a relieving penalty. We've got some fans from Dubbo here. I don't know if they just travelled up for the day. I'll have to find out.
You'll have to find out. Yes.
This will be tropical weather for Dubbo.
It would be tropical weather for Dubbo.
You could argue tropical weather for England too.
It would be tropical weather for England. This is bikini weather for England.
I left mine at home.
And what a shame that is. Set restart here through the Pride. They'll get to the 40-metre line straight away. So all the hard work from the Seagulls in that field positional battle has almost been lost.
So now Beenleigh can start to get their initiative when it comes to the field position battle. I like this turning the ball back inside.
Yeah, there goes Sorensen. Is a break. Hamilton through the middle. They'll get the offload away. Oh, beautiful work from Jaconia. Back up defence. Ball still alive, though, with Connors. He puts it on the left boot. There's people pushing through. And Will Armstrong, easy as you like, expansive football, hot potato-like stuff. And the Pride start off the second stanza with 4 points.
Guess what? They changed things up a little bit. They threw in an inside ball on a +2. They kicked a little bit early. They weren't predictable. And they've also completed every set, Beenleigh.
That they have.
I hate to say I told you so.
Well, both coaches, I think, would be pretty happy with the completion so far. But yeah, beautiful work here from Hamilton, and then he gets the offload to Connors.
That was great.
Still pushing through, and then as every good winger does, on the outside, Armstrong. Great kick, even better pick up. Yeah, Sorensen's been really strong on that right-hand edge for the Pride. And then Hamilton, this little live wire that they have on the bench, he's come on and sparked things so far in this second half.
Well, Wynnum have had a great chance in the last few sets to put some points on the board, or in the term that people like to use in rugby league now, to ice their opportunity, which is quite appropriate considering we've got the ice bath challenge here for M&D. But they've let it loose, and they let it loose with that tackle in mid-air and that rush of blood. They were building great pressure. Even a high kick that gets caught by a fullback, it doesn't mean he enjoyed catching it. And it does put pressure on the opposition.
Well, I know you mentioned the word people like to ice their opportunities. I like to say execute. They execute their skill, execute their opportunities.
Yeah, I prefer that too.
And the execution has been off from both sides. Beenleigh execute first in the second half. Jaden Connors misses his assignment there. So none from 2 with the boot, the Pride. Maybe something that bites them in the back end of this game, because I think it's going to be a tight one, Lee.
I agree, and I think that what concerns me as well is that Wynnum had a great chance to execute and score a try at both halves, and they didn't. And that is going to be there might be something they rue if they're not careful, because Beenleigh are ahead of them in the ladder for a reason.
There's a good kick off. Pianko takes it hard and straight. Oh! You don't run that straight into Mr. Harlan Collins. He makes you pay. Beautiful shot there, and it's caused an error. So Harlan Collins, the big man on the bench, has been known to play anywhere from the centres now through to the front row, and he causes an error immediately off that kickoff. Just look at the play of the ball here. Yeah, he kicked it forward with his toe. I think he just would have been a little disorientated from the impact of that shot. The right shoulder of Harlan Collins. An immediate impact for the Seagulls.
These are just coach killers. The coach is walking away from the box. Oh no, he's just shaking hands with a friend. I thought he was leaving. I thought he'd quit the job. He'd be frustrated. I mean, his team had got control of that half, and then now they're back under the cosh.
Yes, here comes Mr. Rakeem Outer on the right-hand edge. So Wynnum, perfect opportunity to hit back immediately and stake their claim on this match. He's been good so far, Josh Hill.
I want the viewers to watch the Beenleigh defenders now. They'll all shuffle to the right, which means when Wynnum if they try to go to the right, they're going to get no joy. So the Beenleigh defence are ready for pretty much anything now.
Oh, drop ball on their line. Put Collins under too much pressure there.
You can only go through a defence and a crash ball like that if they think you're going to go wide. So to condition them to go wide, you have to throw a few balls wide to make them think, oh, they're going to shift. Because people are humans, they react to things, and if they subconsciously think that the ball's going to go wide, they'll spread, they'll turn the hips out, and then you throw in the crash ball. You don't throw in the crash ball when all you've done is go around the middle third of the field. It was just fallacy. I mean, I think he dropped that ball because, it had brass coffin handles on it. If he caught it, it was in more trouble.
Well, you're not wrong. I went for a walk this morning, bought myself a copy of the Courier Mail, and there that was on the back page. It was that well known. I read about it this morning before he did it. Everyone knew that was going to be a crash ball. And So here they go through the middle here. Dredin SORENSEN taking another touch.
I think I saw a swinging arm there.
Why not? Lee Fubray. Oh, geez.
That's great.
Makes
That's
it look
great.
easy there. Geez, that's Stanford Toledo and Lee Fubray on that far corner now. It's been a great battle.
Great battle over there.
I'll tell you what, I think Lee Fubray might be up in points though.
I agree.
Here they come through Jacob Sturt. Oh, short ball there. Beautiful run by Zagini. He beats the fullback, but Jaconia meets him. He's going to attempt a one-on-one rake, but he won't get there. Quick play the ball. Daunt goes short side. Oh, there's no way he was onside from marker. Jaden Connors gets it off the ground. Oh, big left foot boot. Oh, well taken by HUMPHRIS in that corner and then brought back in. What a wild and exciting piece of play.
Now, Zagini and all four back rowers, edge back rowers, have been turning up for that short ball constantly, except the ball has kept going to them, right? And they'll pat themselves on the back when it does come off and you make a big break like that, but that's rare rather than common. If you take the defence one way, if you get them thinking out, 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 and then play through them, it happens a lot more regularly.
Here comes Mr. Josh Hill for the Seagulls.
Great collision there from the two, Beenleigh.
Clark Hill goes early. He's looking for a 40-20, but it doesn't have the distance.
In terms of what happened in the two sheds at half-time, I feel like Beenleigh have come out with more purpose and they've got the bit between the teeth, and I think it's Wynnum that are under a bit of pressure so far. Would you agree, Taylor?
I would agree. I would agree indeed. The Pride just look a little bit more comfortable at the moment, in my opinion. Connors throws it long. Oh, there's Lee Fubray. He's good with early ball. It's a good idea to get it to him as early as possible.
He's had quite a bit of ball this game.
Connors brings three people under in the end. Jaden Thompson goes for a trot.
If I was the Wynnum defence and Connors running sideways like that, I'd let him keep running. He'd end up in the hot dog stand.
Oh, he's small enough to be put on a slice of bread, to be honest. He wouldn't be too far. Daunt goes high. Spencer trying to work to get underneath it. Can't get there, and it's going to dribble out.
Well, this is good from both kickers now. They're both putting the fullbacks and the back three under pressure, which is good. I called for that not so long ago. Sick of seeing the constant grubber into the 10-metre zone.
I wouldn't mind seeing a real spiralling torpedo bomb put up.
Yeah.
To put some real pressure on the opposition one.
This is a better start to this half than the previous half because they're holding some football, they're putting some things together. We're seeing a bit more of what each team is about now.
Well, it's been 12 minutes and there's barely been a break in play so far. It's been fast, free-flowing, entertaining rugby league.
And now fitness will come into it and mental strength.
You like to think that the number 3 side of the competition, Beenleigh Pride, will be strong there. But we're yet to see who rocked up this afternoon. Kelepi FAUKAFA brought to the ground.
Ex-Gold Coast Titan, Kelepi.
Was in their 20s program, was he?
Yep.
Here he is again, pushing on that right end. Oh, runs straight over the top of Zagini. Last tackle. Let's see where they go. Benoni goes to the air. It's gone directly up. Oh, Zach Hamilton tries to grab it. Goes backwards. Ends up in the hands of none other than Mr. Jamie Hill. Josh Hill, sorry. And we'll have play on. So the Wynnum Manly Seagulls earning themselves 6 again.
See, Beenleigh have been their own worst enemies here too.
Cole goes underneath to Arana Tamata. I think he's playing a rolling 13 position now. To here he goes left to Coghill. He's going to go short. Robinson's wrapped up on the line. Options both side here to Heary. He opts to go himself, and there's no way over.
He's had a bit of something too. They've got 2 good hookers of Wynnum.
Oh, long ball. That's Lachlan LEE looking for his second. They're appealing. They've called held up.
Not out, said the umpire. I would actually start with this fella and bring the other guy on.
Okay.
I think he's a bit more physical in defence, a bit more physical when he does carry the ball into the line. And I think the previous hooker is better in broken play.
Well, Arana Tamata here is back on the field in that rolling lock position. So I think Wynnum are going to try and roll straight up the guts of Beenleigh now. They think they've softened the underbelly.
It's a bit more than Mindy Taylor, isn't it?
It is. It is.
For the uninitiated, that means windy.
FAUKAFA gets the ball. A good outline. But great defence by Caleb Dornco. The Pride survived that one. Last tackle. Spencer goes short. Coggill drops it on a... Coggill drops it on the toe. Deflects off a Beenleigh player, and none other than Daine SPENCER pushing through the middle. Picks it up, slams it down. And that's his second try of the match.
An innocuous try from nothing, which has been the tale of this game. So I think the key is just play your sets out as per coach's instructions, and then towards the end of the set, just do something completely different that nobody's expecting. So that was an unfortunate ricochet there for Beenleigh.
Well, I must say, as we look at the replay that'll pop up any second, I didn't think that going to the right-hand side was the right option here for Coggill. I didn't think he played himself out of room.
Full of defenders.
There's defenders everywhere, but he just gets it on the toe.
Yeah, look, the Beenleigh coach can't get too angry with that play. What he's got to get angry about is the way they coughed up possession to allow Wynnum to be down that end of the field. If that problem happens at the other end of the field, it doesn't result in a try.
Yeah.
So it's all about field position. This game is about field position. You've got to play the game as much as you can down the opposite end of the field. These two teams are almost like clones of each other. We should call this game the Attack of the Clones, because they play very similar patterns to each other. So the team that's going to win is the one with a little bit more human skill, but also the ability to hold the ball and keep control of the game, control the game with the ball, but also when you're defending as well by not giving away penalties.
Well, Wynnum extend their lead now 16-8 in front of the Pride, and as much as the Pride have played some really good football this half, they just haven't been able to get on the board after that first try.
Yeah, I mean, they came out like they meant it, but
like a ball in a china shop.
One of them. But unfortunately, they've not turned the pressure into points. And now Wynnum are a bit more than a converted try away, which could be key, especially the nature of the game that we've had.
So we're back underway. Wynnum have the ball in hand. Here comes Spencer.
This half has gone a heck of a lot quicker too, because there's been good football.
Yes, there has been some good football played by both sides. It's been 17 minutes gone so far in this half. We're about the halfway mark. And as we've mentioned, Beenleigh playing some good football, but Wynnum capitalising and extending their lead.
Beenleigh not doing a bad job of controlling rucks, Taylor.
Tamata jumps and goes himself. They're pouring through the middle. Oh, he's already called tackle, the referee. So he'll play out fifth and last. Right-hand side through Coggill.
Nice.
Oh, and can you sniff that high ball coming at the end of every set? It's hard to do. Oh, that was caused an error.
That wasn't quite NASA, but air traffic control were concerned. And when it nosedived, it changed direction somewhat.
A couple of 747s were had it in their tracks. Is it a bird? Is it a plane?
I think Wynnum can smell blood now.
Oh, mate, I can smell blood. Don't worry about that. A bit of blood in the water here. I wonder what they're going to do from the middle of the park. If they're going to go on that open left-hand side, or if they sniff something out on the right here.
I tell you one thing they shouldn't do. They shouldn't try and throw a money ball. They shouldn't try and force the hand. Just eke the set out and see what happens.
Well, they have options left. They have options right. They're split 3 and 3, but they go to Draconia. Oh,
he's had a great game, Draconia.
Well, he was the highest point scorer in the BRL last year, playing fullback for the Seagulls. Oh, Tahiri jumps, options, back on the inside. Oh, held up again by the Pride.
Is Tahiri at lock now?
I believe Tamata's at lock and Tahiri's at 9, but they're rolling through the middle.
Okay.
They're using both options. If Tahiri sees something, he's jumping, then Tamata just rolls straight into that position. Hills slammed firmly on his back. Oh, Tamata goes himself. Are they going to hold him up? I don't think so. Oh, it's a double movement. Just a little too excited there.
I want to see this because I thought it was a try. I didn't sniff a double movement.
Oh, I didn't see a double movement there either.
Maybe it went out of our eye line. Maybe it went in line with his elbows. We were looking at it.
You might not have sniffed one, but maybe your nose is out of joint, Lee. So the Pride narrowly escaped there. And here comes Jacob Sturt.
I like that choice of a +1 there to get the ball to the middle of the field a bit more, just to make the Wynnum defence consider their defensive split where they need to go. But that next play just plays right back into the Wynnum's hands again.
Yes, Sorensen pushes back on the inside. Talakai fresh from his break off the field.
Jeez, he's a big man.
He is a big man, isn't he? Yeah, I think he'd be pushing up the 6'6", I guess. Inside to Sturt. Oh, well tackled there by Spencer, who's come up from the back line. There's no one at home.
I like this. I like this.
They go wide to Armstrong. Oh, he must be only a metre or two off the try line on last tackle.
Repeat set, repeat set, repeat set.
Oh, I think they're going to go for a repeat set, Lee. You're right. Oh, it's been fumbled by Spencer.
There you go. There's your repeat set.
Is what they get. They were chasing one.
If Beenleigh don't score a try here, I will buy you a beer some point in 2022.
Oh, geez, you've narrowed it down. We see each other twice a week.
No, I'll buy you a beer. I'll buy you a beer before we leave tonight.
All right.
I think Beenleigh are certs to score this because Wynnum just had to travel all the way back down there, the field then in defence, and they're all of a sudden under the cosh, under pressure. Beenleigh have got something to say about this game yet.
Only 20 minutes to go in this chaos Brisbane Rugby League Premier Grade match. They go right to Lefu Bray. Oh,
now
well defended that time by
Bray
Toledo.
has been trying to go around Toledo all day, and it's not worked. He might want to try something different.
Talakai straight and hard, trying to scramble the defence.
If Beenleigh go right now, they score. No, they go to where all
they
the
defenders
defenders
go to
are.
Here comes Boyer, jinking, pushing. Oh, he might get there still. Oh, well defended by Spencer.
You've got to count numbers when you're an attacker.
Dawn.
They're
On the right-hand side. Wattops puts one on the toe. It's going to be picked up on that right-hand corner by the... Oh, it's beautiful tackle. Well, they're turning up for each other, Lee.
Another repeat set, I think. Yep,
yeah, it is. It's a penalty.
Set.
Can't see what
I don't know what that was for
at this stage.
Maybe he broke wind or something. Oh, is it high?
Well, I'd penalise him if he did. He's certainly appealed for a high tackle, so that may have been the cause.
They're still short on the short side, Wynnum.
They go to the Luke Gale, dummies and runs, still pushing. Cannot be denied now, Mr. Gale. And Beenleigh Pride break the floodgates open.
Great ball skills, just like his namesake in the mother country there, Luke Gale. The Luke Gale in Leeds is a half. The Luke Gale in Beenleigh is a back rower. But his ability to dummy the football there, pretend that he was throwing a pass, just gave him an inch that he could squeeze through.
Yes, we'll have a look at the replay here. It was a tap restart.
And now I don't owe you a beer, Taylor.
You don't owe me a beer.
We'll have a look at 2023. Watch him now. He just throws a dummy to someone. Yep. They fell for it a tiny bit. All you need is a defender to fall for it for a nanosecond, and it was just a difference between him getting a shoulder into his ribs or an arm into his ribs.
Yes, he fooled the dummy there, sold it to Arana Tomato, and he bought it.
It's cliffhanger, one word or two? I believe it's one.
I believe it's one too.
I'm going to say one word to you.
Well, it could be
cliffhanger.
It could be 3 words the way you pronounce it. Cliffhanger.
This is going to be a cliffhanger. Neither team wants to win this. They both want to lose it, I think, the way they play. They keep inviting the opposition back into it. I hope when the coaches watch this, they don't have the volume on. I've been slating them, but I don't mean to be derogatory or anything. I just think that both teams need to learn how to control the temperature of a game, not try and grab hold of it with 10 minutes to go of a half or whatnot. From minute 1 to minute 80, control the whole tempo.
Well, regardless of how we got here, Lee, we are here, and it's 16-14. Wynnum still leading the Pride, but just 2 points in it, 16 to go. It's all happening down here at Kitchener Park.
Nice little ground, this, Taylor. I like the clubhouse, and I like this executive box that we sat in.
It does have a real family and club vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's very welcoming. It's cold down here tonight, but there's still a good crowd. I mean, I wouldn't blame them for sitting at home and watching this on BRL TV. It's a great coverage. It's a great coverage.
I can't believe everybody sat here hasn't got the phone out listening to you and I.
Well, we've got enough people just around us here listening in, I think. Oh, Caleb Daunt going for a 40-20.
No.
It doesn't quite have the legs, but he did catch Daine SPENCER off guard a little bit. Jaconia with a broken play. Still going is Jaconia. Oh, pulled down by the jersey. Thought he may have just pushed himself into space.
There's a double change here. The hair is coming back on.
Yes. Mr. Blake Pyle is coming on with Tumavave Gerard as well, shortly behind him.
The best hair. I saw it up close then too.
You have to ask him if you can touch it after the game.
Excuse me, sir. Can I touch your hair?
Here he is now.
Good carry.
Great carry in behind the ruck.
Buoyed by my praise of his hair, he threw his afro into the defence then.
Benoni goes high. This one will be hard to catch. Oh boy, he's been good at fullback, hasn't he, for the Pride? Oh, lethal left foot step.
Either team could win this now, Taylor. They're both settling into a bit of rhythm now. There's not been a massive... Have you noticed there's not been a massive amount of drop ball lately?
Yes, it's been a very fast, free-flowing second stanza to this round 10 match.
Both teams are quite fit too. They're chasing kicks quite well. They're turning up. So praise to the coaching staffs of each team there.
If you're the half for the Beenleigh Pride, what are you doing right now?
I think I am just getting the ball down the other end of the field, kicking deep. This wind that we're talking about, I've not really decided which way it's going, but if we've got the wind, I would kick early as well, just to keep turning Wynnum around.
We go to the right-hand side here. Short ball to Leefu Bray. I think he's put it down. Yes, he has.
They are overplaying that play too. They've got to throw in something different. I'd like to see Leefu Bray coming inside.
I'd like to see him go to that edge, but then come back and have a real shift and a real dig.
Well, you've got to do what works, and about 20 minutes ago we saw Beenleigh turn the ball back inside and make 50 metres. I mean, why they don't keep trying that until it doesn't work anymore and then try something else? Rugby League's about cause. Sorry, Taylor. Rugby League's about cause and effect. If you start playing through a defence, they'll tighten up. When they tighten up, you then go around them. And when you're going around them, they'll spread out. When they start to spread out, you then go through them.
Simple.
It really is. It's just a hard game to play in the sense that it's physical.
Tomato comes out. Geez, he's good when he jumps and he has options around him, isn't he?
I think he's been one of the best players on the park, if not the best player on the park. He's judged the rucks real well.
Well, he's got a test for New Zealand, so it's not something I'd expect.
Yeah.
T. Benoni at 9 now for last play. It's going to go to Coghill. Just a little dink over the top, a little chip kick, if I can.
Coghill's been good too.
Coghill has been good. He's really smart, unconventional. I like him as a 6. Oh, I think they tried to say surrender. He got up and did he make it out there? He went around the post. He did a pure away.
Please, ref, don't give away a penalty here. He'll be tempted.
He may not. Oh, he did. He did.
Yeah, the viewer could probably hear what one of the fans said then. And I tend to agree with him, even if the vernacular was what we can choose here on BRL TV.
Oh, they've gone kick for touch, but it hasn't quite made it. Daine SPENCER's picked it up.
We're back in the first half, are we, with teams making silly errors?
I think Mr. Jason Gainey's lost a few more hairs. That one hurts. He comes. Well, speaking of a man who's picked up a couple of his hairs, he's Adam Tumavave.
Yeah, he can lend his coach some at the end of this game.
Lend, I think it's going to be a steal. It's going to be permanent. Coghill goes short, long ball. Stanford's to Lita trying to get one over Leefu Bray, and he almost does. Coghill has options, chooses to run himself.
Went down an alley there, a blind alley, and had to turn back. Shift the ball, Wynnum.
And
3 passes, go.
They do.
Do they?
Tamata out the back to Benoni, long ball. That's Rakeem out. Options on the outside, holds it himself. But he may not need those options because it looks like he's slid over.
Hate to say I told you so. They even did the best to mess this up by pirouetting with the ball, doing that rollout technique. Just get the ball to the other side of the field.
There's a push and shove over there in the right-hand corner. I don't think we've seen any handbags yet. Just a couple of lads warming each other up with body temperature.
And can you blame them? It's brass handles out here.
So we'll have a look at the replay. Lee Addison called it for a good minute and a half in the lead-up.
Look at all those Beenleigh defenders in the screen. It stands to reason there's not that many on the other side. They nearly blew it just by holding the ball for too long, but eventually they got it.
Yeah, extends his arm there, and it was really beautiful work. Extends his arm out. Oh, really good work, and that's where the push and shove comes from, I think. But you know what? It is what it is in rugby league. It's a physical sport.
The referee's having a chat to the... Are they the two skippers, Taylor?
I believe they are. Just having a little conversation. We've got 10 more minutes to go. He doesn't want this game to take a dive.
This could be a really important kick, because if this goes over...
It's an 8-point difference.
And you wouldn't expect Beenleigh to score 2 tries based on the previous
70 minutes.
70 minutes, the evidence we have got.
So Wynnum Manly pushing for back-to-back wins. I believe it's their first back-to-back win of 2022 if they can make it happen. Jaconia, a very important conversion attempt here. Lee, I'll get you to just have a close eye on Brandon Jaconia's chook scratch here as he comes in to kick it. And maybe you can break this down as a bit of analysis.
Okay.
What do you reckon? Nothing exciting. He misses the goal. Anything exciting about the lead? It wasn't a Mitch Moses or a Piggy Riddell, Mark Riddell, sorry.
No, he probably just needed to come out one more step, actually, the way he kicked it. And kicking a ball is like a golf swing, and if you swing your leg in the wrong place, then the ball will go in the wrong place. I do like this. They made the winger come back to the 10 rather than run all the way back to the dead ball line. You'd be amazed how many people get that wrong.
That's just looking out for your mates.
Yep.
Here comes the kick-off. Kyle Coghill swallows it, hands it off to Mr. Blake Pyle. He's had a good game, Mr. Pyle as well.
I'm not going to blame our kicker keeping Beenleigh in the game, but that's what it does. It was a tough kick, so the walking hare has done an outstanding job since he came off the bench.
Well, he's been a great player for a long time, Mr. Tumavave Gerard. He has NRL games under his cap as well. Yeah, no NRL experience for the Pride, but there's a couple out there for the Seagulls that have played in those matches. Tumavave Gerard's one, Tamata's the other. They go through Coggle now. Boots one into the corner. Well-weighted kick.
Great kick.
It's going to hold. Leon has to play
look at
it.
that for a chase. We're in the...
Oh, beautiful chase.
We're in the last
as well.
10 minutes of the game, and look at that chase. Two fit teams, these.
So the Pride down by 6. 8 minutes to go. They're going to need to find something here.
Yeah, going good.
Wynnum can kill this game off if they defend well.
A little bit of pressure, and Sebastian Winners-Chang puts one down. Wynnum with an opportunity to, as you mentioned, ice the cake.
I'm going to say 2 words to you now. Taylor Brown, are you ready?
I think I am, yes.
Field goal.
Field goal.
Yeah. It's just one of those games. Get the 1 point. Take the sting out of the game.
Creates that extra buffer, doesn't it?
Yep.
So Lee Addison from rugbyleaguecoach.com.au, he's calling for a field goal. Let's see. You've got some of the heads in the middle are thinking that as well.
You've got 7 minutes left. By the time you play out the set, it'll be near a 6. And a field goal, 3 or 4 tackles in, it'll be near a 5. By the time you take the kick off again, it'll be near a 4, 3.5. It'll be a very good choice, actually.
Well, they don't do that straight away. Oh, Coghill in and away on that left-hand corner.
A try would be an even better choice.
It would. Oh, well, they've lost it. They've lost a tackle there. He's picked it up from his knees and dove to the ground has Stanford Toledo.
That reminds me a little bit of Sabir El Haj against Patrician Brothers Blacktown in 2010, how he just sort of fell over at dummy half, but he ended up falling over the try line, which he didn't there, but it was very similar.
Shout out to Sabir El Haj. Here comes Blake Paul through the middle.
Field goal. I don't
think Coggill's thinking field goal. He gets the ball, throws a long miracle ball, and it goes straight over the sideline. Oh, it's a penalty to Wynnum anyway.
Take the 2.
He's pushing, pointing to the ruck to Leon Boyer.
Take the 2. Let's see what the penalty is. Take the 2. If you don't take the 2, you're in reserve grade next week. Take the 2.
He hasn't. They haven't said what for yet, but every person in a Wynnum jersey is pointing to the sticks, so I believe the 2 will be taken. And well, that's 1 point better than your. It's 1 point better than your field goal option, Lee.
In this competition, is there such thing as a 2-point field goal?
I don't think so. I don't think they play those rules.
I was just looking to see if the replay of the penalty came up again, but
yeah, we couldn't. The replay came through, but you couldn't see exactly what happened.
Okay.
So there's no. We can't really.
Here we are.
On that.
Kel's on the job.
Yeah, you can't.
I think it was a late shot.
Yeah, it could have been a late shot.
It was a late shot. Thanks, Kel.
He's all over it, Mr. Bogan. He's given us the thumbs up.
There's only one Kelly Bogan. Well, there isn't. There's actually 2.
There's 2.
Andrew,
twin brother.
Yeah. And 2 twins looking exactly like each other you have never seen until you've seen the Bogan twins. I believe his brother Andrew came out 3 minutes earlier.
Yes, he lines up Brandon Jaconia.
He's obviously been sin-binned here.
He might have been sin-binned, Mr. Jacob Sturt.
I'm just going to ask him. Did he say late shot, mate? Did he say late shot, mate?
On the play before, he missed it.
Okay. He said from the play before he missed it.
Okay. He missed it. Jeez, that's tough. Jaconia comes in, adds the 2 points. We're now playing an 8-point ball game with 5 minutes to go. Every ounce of rugby league experience tells me this is a little too far out of the Pride's reach, but
it depends if Pride kick it short and get the ball back and score quickly.
Anything can happen still.
Wynnum just need to keep the ball away from Pride for the vast majority of the next 4 minutes.
And the one way to do that is to hold the ball. If you've got the ball, they can't score with the ball.
Correct.
Oh, they've drilled one short. Oh, it's over the line. Who ends up with it? Oh, it's a Wynnum hand.
I'm almost going to go far to say game over. Early call, I know, but...
Oh, well, it's not that early. There's 4.5 to go.
Yeah, but I mean, each team,
game.
if the ball stays in play, each team spends a minute on the ball, and I've just not seen enough to think that there will be another try from Beenleigh.
Jaden Connors coming out of the line trying to jar the ball loose on Mr. Blake Paul. Can't do so.
Wynnum just need to play. I'd get up and play the ball at the speed of a tortoise. I know it's early, but just kill the temperature out of the game.
Tamata jumps out, going for a hop and a skip, gets the ball back to
they don't need to force anything.
Gerard.
Don't force anything. Kick the ball, walk to the scrum. You watch, they'll do a field goal now.
Not a bad
or
idea.
Score a try.
Coggill goes short side, long ball, gets to the HUMPHRIS in the corner, and there's the match sealer. Wynnum Manly Seagulls are going to go back-to-back in the Chaos BRL A-Grade competition, and Chris Humphris gets his name on the score sheet for the match winner.
Look, in the final analysis, I'm starting to think that it was the NRL experience of some of the players in the Wynnum team that just helped turn that. They just seemed a bit calmer under pressure towards the back end of this second half when the game was in the balance. Yeah, this is great stuff.
Tomato goes short side, well weighed up. Stanford Toledo, beautiful touch at the end there. He's had a tough assignment all day on Lifu Bray. Probably come off second best, but just executes the skill.
It would have been tempting for Coggill to throw a big cut-out pass there. He didn't. He did a very basic 3v2. You know how I like my 3v2s.
Love a 3v2.
That's just what was needed. Just gave the ball to the centre. The centre hooked in his opposite number. And the winger was away. No problem. Game over. Well done, Wynnum.
So Wynnum, as I mentioned, back-to-back wins. But for the Pride, that's back-to-back losses. Started this season at the top of the ladder at one stage.
I do see a little bit in their game that suggests they've got to play the percentages a lot more, and they also need a bit more in their good ball attack, a bit more surprise package in terms of the way they shift the ball.
That kick was missed, but the damage has already been done. It's 26-14, 12 points in it, 2 minutes to go.
Guess where I'm going now, Taylor Brown?
Where are you going, Lee? Tell me.
Suncorp Stadium.
Suncorp, home of the mighty Brisbane Broncos.
Playing the Canberra Raiders tonight. I'm going to catch up with an old friend of yours, Adam Elliott.
Ah, yes, Mr. Elliott.
Yep.
You make sure you give him a cuddle for me. He's signed that deal of the Knights too, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's landed on his feet. Good lad. He's a good bloke.
He is one of the best you'll meet. Here comes Mr. Pyle. I mentioned before, he's been strong this afternoon. A lot of blokes in that forward pack have been good for Wynnum. You mentioned Tuamavave Gerard, the hair. He's been good. This man, Lachlan LEE, has been outstanding. Robinson on the edge, doesn't stop. Here comes Tamata for a hop and a skip. He's been great. The way they're running the ball here, there could be another 4 points in it.
Beenleigh look a bit fed up now.
They do. They're going to get another. They're going to get the last chance of the ball here, Beenleigh. A minute to go. Ball in hand. What's your analysis on the Beenleigh side? You've seen some green shoots.
I just think they need some better good ball attack and more varied good ball attack, and need to count defenders and count heads in defence. And I just feel we're playing a little bit too structured and had in mind what they were going to do before they did it. And I think they've got to count numbers. They see how many people they've put on the wrong side of the play the ball before they shift to the other side. So it's easy to see for me that, you know, they're both structured in the Wynnum way. And as I've said before on Queensland League scene, the Wynnum are a very well coached side and a great club.
They are a very well coached side. Here comes Daunt. He's going to go on the left-hand side. It's going to be called a forward pass. No point packing this one, boys. There's only 15 seconds left to go. Full time here at Kitchener Park. Wynnum Manly Seagulls have defeated the Beenleigh Pride in a close clash. We thought the Pride may have come out on top at one stage, but Wynnum persevere, get a few points towards the end of the match. And it's back-to-back wins for the Seagulls. You could argue that they're back on track, and they just might be. I always said if Wynnum can pull it together towards the end of this season, they make the semi-finals, they'll be very hard to stop. Well, that form is just starting to scratch the surface, I believe, down here at Kitchener Park. Try scorers for the match. One to Will Armstrong, Dredin SORENSEN and Luke GALE for the Pride. Only one goal for Zach HAMILTON. Spencer gets a double for Wynnum. Rakeem Outer scores a try. Lachlan LEE scored the first. And Chris HUMPHRIS, the match sealer in the corner. 2 goals to Mr. Brandon Jaconia. 26-14, the final score. They were good across the park, Wynnum, but I think I'm going to give my man of the match to Lachlan LEE. He was great through the middle. Didn't stop trying all afternoon and all night. Led from the front, providing the options for Savan Tahiri and Arana Tamata. You can see the tries coming through on the screen now. That was Dredin SORENSEN in the right-hand corner. They went for the short kickoff. Luke GALE grabs it. Now we'll have a look here at one of Wynnum's tries. Tahiri jumps out, and this is the infamous Harbour Bridge, as Lee called it. Kyle Coggill sees the opportunity, doesn't know how to get the ball there, and decides to go. You can't go under them, you can't go through them, you may as well go over them. Beautiful piece of play. And it was really the beginning of the end there for the Pride, who tried hard all game, but they couldn't quite get over the top of Wynnum, who started hard and fast. I think the best in a losing side there for the Pride. I think Deshaun Leafu-Bray was outstanding on the right edge. This man, Dredin SORENSEN, was great. This was the first try coming out of the sheds. We thought the Pride might have been on a roll here. Connors put it on the boot. And that was a try in the corner to Will Armstrong. Conversion unsuccessful. They didn't kick many today, the Pride. Only one to Hamilton. This was this very unlucky try against the Pride, or very lucky if you're a Wynnum fan. Coggle puts it on the toe, deflection, ends up in the hands of Mr. Daine Spencer for his second. Next week, Wynnum will travel to Franklin Oval to play the Panthers at 3 p.m. Beenleigh at home to the Tigers, 6 p.m. So thank you all for joining us here on BRL TV to watch the Chaos BRL Premier A-Grade competition. You have a great week, and we'll see you again in 7 days for more top flight Brisbane Rugby League.